Well, it feels like only yesterday that we were in this very studio finalising a Thundersticks victory in the Hockey One. And 3 months later, here we are, season 2026 upon us. Welcome to the first episode of season 4, I think it is, of the Hockey Hour. Jace Gabriel here with you, and joining me again for another year.
I know, I got suckered in.
Suck it in. Positive feedback, and you just said, gimme.
Okay, I love the fame.
Jane Claxton, former hockey roo, of course, and you've bought a gift. You've smuggled a rock melon in.
I know, one of us has been super busy on our 3-month vacation.
What have you been doing?
Well, I'll do the
maybe.
PG version.
Yes,
but,
please.
yes, I am now just over 6 months pregnant.
The first Hockey Hour baby.
I know, yeah. I
exciting.
trudged through Hockey One pregnant, came out the other side hating myself. But yeah, no, it's been so far so good. I'm still running, still being pretty active. You can follow me on Strava to see the slow decline in my pace.
It disgusts me that you're running on Strava.
I want to tell everyone I pass, like, I'm pregnant. There's a reason I'm running slowly.
You are running faster than me as well. It's just concerning me. But congratulations. I've obviously mentioned that to you previously, but in the podcast world and public world, very exciting.
Yeah, it
Time to
is.
come.
Future hockey roo. It's a little baby girl. So,
Yes.
yeah, very excited. And I'm sure as soon as she gets out the womb, my dad will be on to
Well, yep.
the next, what Olympics would that be? God, like 2050.
Yes. He'll be on it.
Yeah,
Bob's
he will
ready.
be.
He's probably got a hockey stick already
Yeah.
packed. That'll be the first thing you get. You'll be lying in your bed
know.
with her, and that's it. Hockey stick in hand, and
Yeah.
good to go. No, very exciting news. We will obviously keep invested as to how you're going and how she's growing. And
Yeah, weekly segment of what fruit she can.
yes, we can add that in if those who haven't been aware of the fruit system or
Yeah,
the
it's
sizing
crazy.
system. But of course, if you see Jane around, she's more than happy to. Well, you can't hide your bump at the
No,
moment. So
I got away with it up until about 5 months, and it just kind of looked like I'd eaten too much. But now it's, very much more visible. So, yeah, unfortunately. Won't be taking the field this year, but be on the sideline.
very good, very good. Well, very exciting news, and of course, we have. The Premier League starting this weekend, a new sponsor, which we'll touch on shortly. But of course, with this episode, we'll go through all the Hockey WA news. We'll go through our Premier League preview, players to watch, teams to watch. We'll give a rough understanding of our predictions and ladder position. And that will probably do us for this episode because we have quite a big weekend ahead with everything starting. And obviously, we will get to any suggestions that you might have as our listeners, and of course the mailbag as well, which we'll have shortly too. But let's unfortunately get into some sad news to start us off this year. We lost a couple of champions of hockey in Australia. Michael Nobbs from a former Kookaburra, and of course Shirley Tonkin, who both have recently passed. Shirley was obviously on the show with us
what a
the end of last
privilege.
year.
What a privilege. So well timed by us.
Yes.
Kind of, hear about her entire journey and how inspirational it was to play for your country back then. The amount of adversity, go back and listen to it.
Absolutely.
That they had to kind of go through to even represent their country is crazy.
Well, let's start with Nobbsy or Michael Nobbs. Of course, a WA Hall of Champions member, and he had a profound impact of the sport in WA and nationally, of course. His connection runs deep. He was a player and a coach. Coached the Thundersticks back in the day. Of course, represented Australia, 76 international caps. He actually moved from South Australia to WA
legend.
in the
Absolute
80s. And represented Suburban Hockey Club and probably more famously the UWA Hockey Club. Two-time Olympians medal recipient, and he would be one of the players that would train alongside the current Kookaburra's coach and Mark Hager,
Yep.
Richard
Poss
Agus,
Reid.
Poss Reid, yep.
Yep.
Greg Corbett, Stephen Davies, a lot of people we obviously know. He coached, of course, international level. He coached India for a small period.
Yep.
Extraordinary coaching career, and he was very calm. He coached Vic
He
Park
was.
for one season.
He is very
Very
level-headed.
very
Yep.
calm. Yeah, and I really appreciate. There were moments where he got angry,
Yeah.
and they were like resolute amongst the group, but generally a very calm and laid back guy.
Yep.
What are your memories of?
Yeah, he actually, in my sassy days, came out and as like a guest coach, and I'd never kind of come across him before. He hadn't come back to South Australia since leaving in the 80s, and he took us for these drills, and all we were allowed to do was use only our left hand on the stick. And I think by the end of it, I had such bad forearm cramp. And then, like, he called it like my strong hand, because if you're just playing left hand hockey, this other right hand starts doing these weird movements. And he's like, you've got to relax your right hand, and it's so hard. But anyway, that was like such a big impression. And obviously, I had the privilege of playing with his daughter as well. So I saw him frequently on the sidelines in his Atlas cap and cargo shorts and Asics sneakers. He had an iconic look. But yeah, an incredible mind of hockey.
Absolutely, absolutely. And there was obviously a lot done to try and raise some money, which I think was done successfully for some surgery, which is absolutely fantastic. So everyone that did contribute, I'm sure it's very much appreciated from the Nobbs family. So we say a sad farewell to Michael Nobbs, but never forgotten. He will be remembered for being just a lovely human being, and rolls into our, unfortunately, second lovely human being who lost her life the other week. I think maybe only a week or so ago. Of course, we interviewed her, and essentially one of the most influential women's figures in WA hockey was a full drive behind the golden era of the 60s, which they were undefeated for about, I think it was 8 tournaments, or six to 8 tournaments, something like that. Midfielder, strike forward, spent had to essentially apply, like when we spoke to her, to play for Australia, and then when got picked, effectively spent 6 months on
a
the
boat.
road, yes, which was incredible
Crazy.
to play. What we worked at, probably 6 games of hockey in America. 14 times she represented Australia, and she was included in the Olympic Games, highlighting, of course, the significance of her achievements. WA Hockey Hall of Champions in 95, and awarded the Hockey WA Award of Merit in 96. And of course, we paid tribute to her last year, end of last year, after she was inducted into the WA Sport Hall of Champions, which is a huge moment, because all of her granddaughters were there. Obviously, her son Shane and her daughter Jodie were also there. She had the whole family there.
It was so cute to see, but also her speech with Ash Nelson was so lovely. She said, "Oh, I'm so underprepared," and then rabbited on. And I think it was such a great, probably, ending to her career, but also ending to her life, to celebrate it in such a way and have all the important people that she loves and cherishes in the same room.
Yeah, it was. I'm sure there'll be an opportunity to farewell
This
Shirley.
Thursday at 2 p.m. at PHS.
There we go. So thank you. Hopefully people see that before the pod actually comes out. But she will leave a lasting legacy, and she will sorely be missed. So to the Nobbs and to the Tonkin families, we send our condolences and a sad passing of Michael Nobbs and Shirley Tonkin. Okay, let's get into the first piece of Hockey WA news for the year. There is a lot of news to obviously catch up on. There was so much happening since the 1st of January.
It was a great few months to be a hockey fan.
Oh, yes.
It was just coming at you left, right and centre.
Absolutely. Let's start with probably the biggest news of internationally or nationally, is that the Hockeyroos qualified for the World Cup. They got there.
I've never been so nervous.
It was nerve-wracking. They eventually lost out in the final of the qualifiers to Chile, but they did lose to Chile earlier in the
Yep.
pool stages, and there was some concern because they ended up having what would have been the harder semi-final against Ireland, who, of course, they didn't beat during the Pro
Yeah,
League.
everyone was
So
sweating. There was a lot of sweat coming off.
it was all going on, but they had a nerve-wracking victory to over Ireland 1-0 in that semi-final, which guaranteed them qualification because it was the top three effectively, and then losing the final of the qualifier to Chile, who effectively flooded their defence.
Yeah, there was a parking the bus strategy there, and
Yep.
yeah, the girls, I think they played their probably best hockey against
Mm.
Ireland, and then they did play well against Chile, but didn't. I think there was, yeah, parts there that they had, one-on-ones with the goalie and a lot happening that could have gone a different way. But I think they were probably just relieved to qualify.
Absolutely. They, of course, had a Pro League leg earlier on in the year against Argentina, Ireland, Spain, and China. Unfortunately, no wins during that period. They did have a
ladder tally.
Yes, we're going to touch on that in a second. But we had a shootout win over Ireland and a shootout loss to Spain, but the rest were losses. So the first block had the team effectively the stronger team that went over to Chile for the qualifiers, and then the second block was the team of essentially Australia A development players and players from the Gillaroos played. So through that time, we had some WA players make their debut, which was Nasa Flynn, Sarah Burns, and Jolie Satorio, all making their Hockey Roos debut. Courtney Chanel and Lexi Pickering returned in the second block to play for Australia, of course, with our existing Hockey Roos in Carrie Somerville and Leash Power. So, of course, we're going to throw Caitlin Nobbs in there because she's
she's
born here, whatever. But now losing these games hurts your ranking points because effectively I had to look at the ranking system and how it works, and I tried to.
It's convoluted now with Pro League because if you lose to someone below you, they get more points as opposed to you winning to someone below you. It's
So essentially, the losses to Ireland are big points losses to the Hockey Roos, as well as their loss to Chile because Chile's further away from the girls. So I think they're ranked 8th or 9th, I want to say now. But probably worse than that, they're sitting second bottom in the Pro League now.
Which means there's a danger of obviously dropping out of the Pro League.
Yes, absolutely. Which now I'm not sure how that will be seen by the powers that be in the hockey department at Hockey Australia, but there is a chance they finish on the bottom potentially, and someone doesn't want to come up and they regain their spot, which is happened, which is fine. But they have a very difficult, I think there's a chance they can finish bottom because it's very difficult.
Yeah, they've got the whole European league, which is Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, GB. Yeah, it's a rough road.
Yes.
But some days I'm like, do we want to be in Pro League?
Well,
It's an expensive exercise, especially coming from Australia and New Zealand. You see New Zealand opting out because financially they can just pick up games elsewhere, and they seem to be doing just fine doing that. So
it's
it'll be interesting.
It will be very interesting because I'd be interested to know how that would affect their funding going towards LA because you're technically not in the top 8, even though they might be ranked.
Yeah, you don't get the opportunities to get more ranking points for sure.
Yeah.
Even though the ranking system seems to be so ambivalent anyway, because the World Cup was just drawn out of a hat, all the pool rounds, whereas normally they would snake their way through of one, like ranking everyone into pools and then all of that. So now I'm just confused why we have rankings in general.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, we'll touch on the World Cup, the pools as well, but a big June coming up for the Hockey Roos. Germany are on the bottom at the moment, so they're going to have a huge 2 games against them. I definitely think they can beat England, but they have to. They're gelling nicely, so a bit more improvement over the next few months. Belgium and Netherlands will be difficult, but
Yeah.
it's all good preparation for the World Cup
Yeah.
because they can have a very good World Cup and boost their ranking points as well.
Yeah, I would
So
assume Rhett's probably narrowing in on the World Cup team for that period of time to kind of consolidate his structures. And there's that we actually haven't played with our strongest team yet because you've got the likes of Grace Young, Abby Wilson's
true.
been injured, Mariah Williams has been injured. Yeah, so hopefully over the next few months before June, everyone gets back on deck and yeah, we can hit the ground running getting into
Absolutely.
Europe.
They will have Netherlands,
Mm.
Chile, and
Yeah.
Japan in
They're
their
haunting us.
yes
They're following us everywhere. I
in their
found that
group.
comical. Yeah.
Yes, that was very funny. They will have them in their World Cup group. So, two huge games against
Yeah.
Japan and Chile, you would say, to finish second and progress through to
Yeah.
an easier
Netherlands is
quarterfinal.
Netherlands, you know?
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the Kookaburras. Now, they had a really, really good Pro League campaign down in Hobart. We had the debutant Ian Grobler from WA who made his Kookaburras debut, but they lit it up over.
It was so lovely to watch.
It was good, wasn't
It
it?
was like nice. I can now feel like what the Dutch feel like
Yep.
when they're watching their women's team. You're like, oh yeah, we're going to go out there. We're definitely going to win. But like, how great will it be to watch and what the performance will be like?
Absolutely. So they beat Pakistan twice, Germany twice, Spain twice, although a shootout win over India and a shootout loss against India. That loss was effectively their only loss, which is not the worst thing. So a fantastic little period for the Kookaburras, obviously having a few more debutants in there and newer. They're not so much newer, but they haven't been part of the squad
Yeah.
officially, I suppose. The likes of Connor Otterback, for example. So really good to see them have a really good hit out. Of course, they will also go to Pro League for June, and they will also take on England, Netherlands, and Belgium, but they will play Argentina as well
Yes.
before they head over to the World Cup, who they will have Pool C and have Ireland, Spain, and South Africa in their group. So,
That'll be a good group for them.
yes, I think there's great potential for them to come out of that group well. Play.
Spain will be a bit of a see how they go, but
Yes.
South Africa, I assume, will be okay.
Yes, let's hope so. So, Jane, the next news is probably a long-running bit of news because the construction for the Australian Hockey Centre has officially begun. So those who haven't made their way towards Perth Hockey Stadium will recognise pretty quickly that you can't park in the traditional car park.
Any park's close to the stadium, unless you're in the Masters.
Yes, correct. So make sure you check where you can park. That's absolutely vital because there are some parking options available for everyone. But the construction is happening. We're starting. We're underway.
Exciting. I didn't think it would ever start at some point, but yeah.
Yes, it looks like it's probably that car park will be redeveloped into that first turf.
Yep. Right. Yeah.
I think
There's a
turf
turf either side of that main building. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So I think that turf and I don't know if the indoor hockey centre is going underneath that. Not sure.
No, it's in the car park at the distance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's going to be no car parking.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That sounds good.
Catch an Uber to hockey.
Yes.
But yeah, like just so everyone's aware, we've finalised the art for because everyone obviously is
very important.
Really,
That was a big job for you.
It was a big job for me. Who's someone that really has so much artistic flair in their lives to be a part of a committee choosing the art. So don't stress, everyone. It will look pretty.
Culturally appropriate too.
Culturally appropriate
Very good.
too.
Very good. How many sausage dogs?
I reluctantly none.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a
Sound
bit.
like you.
It doesn't please everyone in the community, but
Very good. Well, keep an eye out on the progress of the Australian Hockey Centre. Exciting project, which probably not going to bear the fruits of for another few years, but I'm sure once this initial part is complete, we will have 3 turfs effectively.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to say maybe a year and a half, let's say,
hopefully.
2 years. I don't know what the timeline of the project is, but that's just me spitballing.
I think it's 2028 is
Okay.
kind of the
Well, yeah, ready for them
Ready.
to prepare for LA.
yeah.
Okay.
And trying to also start putting bids in for World Cups and things, which will be incredible to host.
Yes, absolutely. We haven't had one since 2002, I want to say, the Women's World Cup.
Yep.
Which is why, obviously, the last redevelopment, really, of the
Yeah.
stadium. So exciting news for Australian hockey in Perth and the country. Of course, our Kookaburras Hockeyroos indoor national teams will all be able to hopefully benefit from this centre. Now, closer to home, the Premier League is beginning, as we mentioned, this weekend, and there is a new naming sponsor, major sponsor. TeamStar has come on board and are now the naming rights sponsor of the Premier League. So we are now referring to it as the TeamStar Premier League.
Wow, those in commentary will really need to learn before the
Yes,
weekend.
I think I'm prepared.
Yeah.
TeamStar. I thankfully have had a little bit to do with the guys at TeamStar, or most people would have, because that is what the inputting system is for updating results and fixtures and seeing fixtures and things like that. So it's fantastic to see that, or the team, Hutto and the team, getting involved with the Premier League. I know they're pretty keen to push themselves out there, and by having the Premier League named after you,
Yeah.
massive bonus.
Get your name out there, and plenty of commentators will be reading your name.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Now, Jane, there's a new Hockey One team.
I thought this was a joke. I honestly thought that this was just a prank on Instagram when it first came out. 'Cause I think I saw it through Orchard's account. Simon Orchard, for those that don't know. And I was like, nah, they can't be giving Melbourne a second team. And then NT, no team.
Yes, well, that was going to be the question I asked you. Is this the right area to have a second team? Is this the right state to have a second team?
No.
Okay,
No.
because I agree. I agree. Obviously, I would prefer NT to have a team. If not NT, I think the southwest of WA or the northeast of Queensland could have been the two areas to get involved.
They're in the same city. So it makes no sense. I mean, money talks. So I think there's been a lot of money thrown at the Hockey kind of One franchise from this particular new club. So I understand that. And Hockey One was kind of teetering up financially, and so that's advertising. But yeah, a bit of a slap in the face, I think, for the NT crew that have put in a lot of hard yards and built that Malaysia connection that we've talked about last year. So yeah, sad to see that they haven't been included.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Now, we can probably talk about where it should be or where it should have been. But if you're a Hockey One player now, and potentially someone in and around one of the national programs, are you contacting them and saying, hey?
I think they're heavily recruiting from India by the looks of
Well,
their
yes,
Instagram.
I have seen that. I have.
So you may not be able to get a look in.
Which is, I understand the Asian recruitment and the buy-in, I suppose, in Melbourne. But I guess, will that affect the rules, right? Because the rules are for all teams. And so I think, certain teams can have certain amount of imports or whatever it is. But like, I appreciate the want to have more Indian flavour.
Yeah.
But surely it's just one or two players, and that's for each gender, and that's it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they approach the rules
Yes.
for a new team coming in. But yeah, I'm sure there's people out there willing to kind of migrate to the Melbourne Cobras for a little payday.
Yes. Surely they're, like, you're giving these, right?
Yeah,
These are the
if
goal
you're not-
scorers,
If
like,
you're not, what's the point?
well, yeah, or you're playing your stick like a flute,
Yeah.
and like having someone come up. Like, I've seen it. There's a very cool breakdancer who's like does this dance to one of the Punjabi MC song, and it's very cool. It's very cool.
So you wanting really badly to play?
Well, I do have heritage, so
I fit the bill.
but yeah, talent-wise, I'm probably not there anymore. So,
Yeah.
but watch this space because there will be movement
Mm.
over the season, and let us know what you think. I guess.
Yeah, right into the mailbag.
Absolutely, yeah. If you want to tear it up,
Yeah.
please. We're happy. We're happy. Now, the Thundersticks women, after their back-to-back Hockey One championships, were named the Team of the Year at the WA Sport Awards.
That's
Did you
awesome.
get an invite to that?
Sadly, no.
No? Oh, okay.
I
Damn it.
know.
I didn't either.
I know. I can't believe it. We're our biggest supporters. Well, I was pseudo supporting you more so.
Oh.
But yeah, I love when hockey wins awards like
Yes.
this. Well deserved. I think their story throughout Hockey One, from coming from being hated on by the
Yes.
WA public to coming out the other end
Yeah.
victorious. True underdog kind of Stephen Bradbury style.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, for those that haven't heard our chat with Lene Milan, last episode of last season, go and have a listen. She runs through the conversation, essentially, the meeting the group had to discuss where they're at, I guess.
Yeah.
And that became a bit of a catalyst for how they rolled into the last few weeks of the season. So go back and have a listen. And yeah, congratulations to the Perth Thundersticks women and all that were involved. Of course, no January can go by without having our national indoor championships held in Canberra and the under-16s and the 14s comps in Goulburn. Now, these are the results for our open men and women, 21s, 18s, 16s, 14s. Jane, do you want to rattle them off?
Yeah, WA Open men's silver medal, so great outcome for them. WA Open women's fourth place, WA 21's men silver medal, and Mitchell McGrath named player of the tournament, and Kirby Hobbs top goal scorer. So some talent coming through that junior pathway. WA under 18 men's came seventh, WA under 18 women's seventh as well, and then WA under 16 boys seventh place, WA under 16 girls, sixth place. WA 14 boys, seventh, as well as the under 14 girls, also in seventh. So, yeah, some consistency in sevenths and sixths across the board.
Yeah, look, it's a tough time to play indoor, isn't it?
Oh, it is so hot.
Yep.
It's not built for Australia. That's why it's European.
Well, Canberra's probably the best spot to have it, if not Tassie, I guess, but the colder areas of the country, but just difficult being in
it is a sweat box.
Yeah, essentially, that's what the centres can become. So, well done to all involved with the indoor competitions, and we want to congratulate some athletes who made the futures indoor team and the Big Apple, which was a tournament that was held. So Jared Crick, Jack Cudby, and Mitch McGrath were named part of the 2026 Future Indoor Squad, and they went over to the US to compete in the Big Apple International Tournament. They were unbeaten throughout the tournament, and it culminated in a 2-1 win over OKD FHC, and a fantastic little tournament. And what an opportunity to go to America.
Yeah,
Indoor hockey.
I'm jealous.
Yes.
And then on top of that, the 2026 Australian indoor squads were announced, and WA's own Jade Vanderswan, who's come back to hockey after sustaining a few head injuries. So lovely to see her back out there.
Brilliant.
Dominic Kane, Mitchell McGrath, Mitch Pace, and Ryan Pace, all named in the 2026 Aussie indoor squad. So you can go have a look at those on the Facebook page.
Perfect. Now, our last news item, because we've basically picked everything we could that's been happening. The officials have been have had their own awards and had some appointments happen as well. So Tammy Stanley was named Technical Official of the Year for the females at Hockey Australia's Officiating Awards. Umpire manager Peter Wright was appointed to the FIH Outdoor Centre panel, and Jared Correa, I hope I've pronounced that correctly, Jared, recently served as the timing/scoring judge during Block 2 of Hobart Pro League. So congratulations to our officials.
We're actually kind of really lucky, I think, in WA with the
Absolutely.
officials we have, even though we have come to some disagreements on the field about interpretations of rules. Who knows? No one names names. But yeah, we are actually really spoiled here with the quality we have.
I certainly agree. Certainly agree. Umpiring and tech officiating
Mm.
wise. So congratulations to all of our officials as well. A big thank you to TeamStar, the naming rights partner of the TeamStar Premier League.
TeamStar is playing a big role behind the scenes in hockey here in WA, helping streamline competitions and making things easier for clubs, players, and administrators across the board.
From managing fixtures and team selections to handling match payments and communication, it's all about simplifying the game day experience so everyone can focus on the hockey.
It's a locally built platform designed with community sport in mind, and we're proud to have TeamStar supporting the top level of domestic hockey here in Western Australia.
You can check them out at teamstar.net. Now, of course, Jane, like last year, the mailbag is back.
Mm-hmm.
We want to get everyone's questions. Now, we're very appreciative of our mailbaggers from last year. Of course, Anon, very, very popular. Rowan, very, very popular. We want more. We want more people. Just write in. Don't care if you want to send it to Jane, send it to myself.
Matt Dawson, write in.
Matt Dawson, write in. Yes. Now you're no
now you
longer.
don't live in the state.
Yes. Oh, and he will write in. I know he will. But we want people to write in. We want you to have your opinion. And if you disagree with us, absolutely even better. We would certainly appreciate your thoughts. Where are the Hockey Roos at? What do you think? Can the Kookaburras win the World Cup? What are your thoughts for Premier League seasons? Who should be in the Thundersticks? Who should
Are we paying too much for players?
Yes, yes. What do you think the rules should be? Yeah, absolutely. So give us your thoughts. We are very happy to share them, and you can be anonymous or give yourself a fake name. I'm happy for fake names.
Yeah.
I'm happy to work out who's the best fake name. If you want to give us the best fake name.
Fakey.
Yes, absolutely. Huge as. Don't mind it. Absolutely. Give us something. Right into the mailbag. We'll go through it each week and we'll answer your questions or discuss your concerns or feedback. We're very happy to make this something that is community-wide and we love hearing your thoughts. So if you have any questions, send them through to us or to Hockey WA through the Instagram, Facebook, email, whatever it is that you would prefer. We strongly appreciate it and look forward to seeing it all through the year. Now, we're going to do a little preview for the men and the women for the TeamStar Premier League season starting this weekend. Actually starts Friday night.
I know.
Friday night lights.
Gosh.
I'm all about Friday night lights at the Perth
Junior
Hockey Stadium.
All over again.
Yes, 7 p.m. It's Raiders and YMCC that'll kick off in both men and women. But let's go through what's happened in the off season effectively.
I would say this has been the most active off season I've come across.
I agree.
Since I've lived here.
Yeah,
so
I certainly agree. Now, how would you like to do this? Would you go by club or do you want to go by men, women?
We'll go by club and go through men, women. Yeah, that seems logically easier for my brain.
Okay. Well, let's start Fremantle Coburn. Now, their women have been promoted.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic news for them. They had a great season, obviously, last year. So for them, let's start with the women because they're most they're on a return.
Yes,
the Premier League.
they've by and large, I think everyone is aware, they've bought out the war chest named Tim Deven and his funding.
Yes.
No, it could come from other avenues, of course. But yeah, they've forked out some big paydays for both of their teams, I think. In the women's, they've obviously recruited. She's a pseudo Queenslander, but really a New Zealand representative, and Jenna Ray McIntyre.
Yes.
So she's one of, I think, their probably flagship imports that they have on the roster.
Yep.
They have a few other names, but I'd say that she's probably the one to watch out there.
Yep.
In that forward line. You probably would have seen her representing the Pride during Hockey One as well.
Yes.
So yeah, I think my kind of prediction for their season is that have you overcapitalized
Well,
on your investment? You know, like is it money well spent or this season obviously there's no demotion, so it is pretty much a give me. But yeah, have you overcapitalized and is it in the right areas?
Yep.
I don't think they'll make the top 5, but I think they'll challenge a few teams here and there.
I agree. I think they will challenge a few teams. Ella Carr returned, which is fantastic. Now, I'll caveat this by saying we will name the Hockey Australia high performance players, Kookaburras and Hockeyroos that each club has signed. However, for the women, they're not allowed to play.
Yeah, pretty much until World Cup selection occurs. So there's the caveats of if you're returning from injury and they need like proof of form.
Of course.
But if you're up until the World Cup selection's out, it's pretty much categorised no playing, which is difficult for clubs that have like a Hale, but which we'll get to later. But yeah.
So Casey Dawkins and Michaela Jones are their 2 Hockeyroos that they've signed effectively. So, I agree. It's going to be an interesting season for them. I don't think they'll finish in the bottom 2, even bottom 3. I think they'll be in between that little space. Yeah. They might probably, but they might sneak into 5th, 5 to 8. I've probably got them.
Yeah, same. I had a similar estimation.
Now, let's have a look at the boys because they've been busy in the off-season. The Fremantle men. Brent O'Grady, I should say, the Irishman, returns. And they've also signed from other clubs, Ethan Boucher from North Coast Raiders and Fraser Hay, probably one of the moves of the season, I reckon, or the year so far. He's come across from Whitfords.
He's gone from one end of Perth to the other.
He has gone from one end to the other. They've also got Casey Dawkins' partner, Diarmid Chappell, I believe is her partner. So I don't know if he's here yet, but he's going to be playing for Fremantle, Coburn. So he is, of course, part of the Brisbane Blaze setup. And then a couple of Northern Territorians in Calvin Famillo and Joe Lauritsen. Calvin's probably a bit older. He was part of the Adelaide Fire Hockey One. And Joe is a junior representative for the Northern Territory and will add some good defensive, I suppose, protection, depth probably for them. So they're probably up there again, the Fremantle men, as the ones to beat. I would say they
had a strong, I guess, season last year, and then came to finals, and that was what made them come undone. But yeah,
they will finish top 2.
Yeah.
If not first again. I think they finished on top last year. So they are absolute front runners to effectively get it done. They've been so close in the last 2 years, falling at the preliminary final. Is this the year of the Magpie in the men?
Well, yeah, I think it's all kind of focus has been put into that. I know Matt Bird's not even really coaching the women. He's, I think, maybe assistant coaching because he really wanted to put all of his time and effort into getting a premiership. So they're taking it seriously.
I should mention Dean Evans coaching the women, former Kookaburra and Perth Thunderstick. So great to see him back involved. Been away for a bit, so great to see him back with them. Let's go on to Hale with the women. They will, of course, have Sarah Burns, Claire Cole and Mariah Williams return as their Hockeyroos.
Yeah.
Sarah Burns is the homegrown. But they add an Irish international. She's not played for Ireland, I don't believe. No. But Hilary Balding is one of their imports. And they've also got Sarah Martins. Now,
I did try to do some research before and even messaged a few people in their team, and they don't know who she is. So she obviously hasn't come to training yet.
Okay.
So maybe she's, as of this week, will be at training. So, yeah, I did try to do a bit of digging because I didn't know those 2 names off the top of my head. But
that's good.
I did note that this club's probably the most impacted by Hockeyroos not playing because they've had, obviously, Burnsy last year was quite a solid rock for them through that centre mid. And obviously could play every game because she wasn't in the Hockeyroos at that point in time. So it'll be interesting to see how that functions.
Yep.
And they obviously have a great base. They've got Lene Milan, Kirst Dwyer, Cammy Vaughan in the net.
Yep.
They've got a lot, and Caitlin Templeman, so a lot of youth there as well. But they definitely will perform. Whether they can be the top end of the ladder, I think they'll probably be mixing it 4th, 3rd, 5th.
Yep. I agree.
But yeah,
I think they'll be between 3 and 6. I reckon is
Mm.
probably their position. We go to the men, and they've had some buy-in. They've got a return. So Corey Ware, obviously no longer part of the Kookaburra setup, has returned to Hale, where he won a premiership with them. So he returns, and Max Larkin, who is not part of the Kookaburras, but a Tassie Tiger, he is come over to play for them. They have Dan Sibold, who returns, the South African, played a little bit of the Hockey One with, I think, the Adelaide Fire. And then they've got their 3 Kookaburras, Ian Grobler, who's homegrown, and the Belts brothers, Hayden and Josh. I think they will be between 2 and 4 in their finishing position. I think there is a lot. Now, of course, the Kookaburras can play, and I believe they will play this weekend. So they will, especially with Max Larkin in the net, be definitely defensively better. They do have James Bennett and Max Evernet, who are considered imports, but potentially will play across ones, twos. Their highest sort of grade, I think, is not in the Premier League from England. So
yeah.
I've got them probably between 3. What did I say? 3 and 5.
2 and 4, I think.
2 and 4, maybe 3 and 4, 2 to 4, 2 to 5.
I think it would be around 3 to 5 for
Yep.
me. Yeah, 3 to 5.
All right, let's roll on to the next club. It's Lions for the women. And haven't they done some recruiting? They have snagged Courtney Chanel from
I
UWA.
would say that's the biggest kind of move of the season that you wouldn't have predicted. Moving from UWA, arguably really kind of solid, successful team, great players around her, to then, Suburban Lions.
Absolutely. So firepower up front, if it wasn't already strong enough with Maria Guastavino, is going to improve. She did play there, obviously, before she went to UWA, I'm pretty sure, didn't she, Courtney?
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
Well, not in my memory bank, but
maybe not.
I think
Maybe
she's
I'm thinking
always
of
been
someone else.
a UWA player.
They have Beatrice Bell as well. That I think returns from memory. But Alice Arnott and Amy Lawton are their hockey roos, but going to be strengthened again. But more strength again, I should say, with Georgina Dowd and Jolie Sartorio.
Yep.
So they will be, I think they will be probably between 2 and 4. I think they'll finish quite high.
If not probably, kind of vying out
2,
for
3.
1 and 2. I kind of mentioned like this will be a hard team to beat.
Yep.
Like they have some across every line, someone that's some form of international representation or Hockey One level. So they will be battling it out for those top spots, I think.
Let's have a look at mods in the men. Of course, they don't have a female team, so we'll keep the clubs together. But they've done some recruiting in the off season. A couple of Spanish, I want to say brothers, Emilio Sanchez, and I'm going to go with Kino Sanchez because I won't say their full names. But they come from the Premier Division in Spain. They also have a Scotsman in Jackson Corey Duff. So he will probably go across both divisions, but the other 2 will definitely play in the first grade, and that gives them a lot of strength.
Yeah, they definitely needed it coming out of last season.
Jed Snowden returns in the net for them. It'll be fascinating their development, I would say, and how they've developed from last year to this year. That strength with the 2 Spanish players will help massively. Probably, I don't know the 2 of them, but either 2 midfielders or probably a midfielder and a striker is probably what they would probably want. So, I probably still have them either second bottom, probably bottom 3, I want to say, because I think with the 2 Spanish players, they could knock off the other 2 in the
they'll
bottom.
compete for that bottom section.
Yes. Yes, I think they will. Let's have a look at Melville, the Melville women.
They haven't changed overly, but they have benefited from Maddie Smith obviously being dropped out of the Hockey Roos and now in
Correct.
development. So she'll be a constant for them throughout
Yep.
the season, which will obviously accompany USI, who's obviously their Japanese import and has been quite a good player for them for the last couple of seasons. We played them on the weekend. We had a bit of a mix of 1 and 2s in our team, and they had their full ones outset. And yeah, nothing too different, but they play a great team brand of hockey. So I don't know if they'll crack into the top 5.
No.
I don't think they have the they needed like the Abby Wilsons to kind of create some upfront
Yep.
power.
Yeah.
And so I think the kind of goal scoring stuff for them will be probably their main issue.
Yeah, maybe your reliance on Maddie's penalty corner and USI's penalty corner exploits. Abby Wilson, as you mentioned, returns, and Alana Kavanagh is there
Made
as
the switch from YM.
Yes, correct. Yep. So she will be their second Hockey Roo. Let's have a look at the Melville men. They're going to be coached by Ross Hall this year. So new coach. Not going to be a playing coach from what I understand. Will focus purely on coaching and probably play the second grade.
It's a hard gig to juggle if you're player coach, I think.
Absolutely.
It's difficult.
They gain Jacob Anderson. That's a big in. That's a big in for them. Just takes a little bit of pressure probably off the Staines brothers for goal scoring. It's probably been one of their Achilles heels. Matt Willis has probably been the person to, support the Staines brothers. So Jacob Anderson is going to be there after his German stint. Jay McDonald returns as their imports. And Davis Atkin, Dylan Downey are their 2 Melville Kookaburras, I should say. So a change. They had Tim Brandt and Lockie Sharp, so a change there.
I don't judge them for that because I don't think Brandy is really ever in the country. So they'll probably be like, "Where's our return on investment?" I can understand that.
But they'll have them this weekend. I probably got Melville between 2 and 4.
Yeah, they're very team-orientated hockey, and we saw last year like they can really mix it. They came undone a little bit, I think, once the Kookaburras came back into the fold for every team, but I think they've recruited well and kind of recreated their dynamic in their team to even it out a little bit.
It's a scary prospect having James Day and potentially Dylan Downey flicking at the top of the circle.
Yeah, that's rude.
So, yes, that'll be fascinating to watch. 2 to 4 for them. The Raiders women moved to North Coast Raiders, and the return of Brooke Paris.
Yeah, she's been
back.
listed, and I was almost texted her being like, didn't realise you were coming back to play hockey. But the rumour mill is that she has been listed but unlikely to play.
Okay.
So,
righto.
But we might see a little cameo up front for Raiders.
That would be nice. Erin Anderson, the Irish woman, is one of their imports, and Jess Tuff. I think they both played for them last year. So I've probably got them in the bottom 3. I think,
so do I. There
12.
hasn't been enough change, and even people leaving the club like a Shania Tonkin to go play at YM. So they're losing people rather than gaining them at any kind of rapid rate.
Makes it hard.
Yeah, it does make it hard.
So probably a development season for them. Whilst we look at the Raiders men, they haven't changed too much. We should say Grace Stewart is returned for Raiders as their Hockey Roo pick. Ash Thomas is the Kookaburra pick for the men, so he'll be in goals for them. They have potentially an Argentinian in Juan Costa and an English, couple of Englishmen that have been there for the last few years, I believe. Dill Coleman, Connor Irwin, I'm fairly certain, kind of is the Irishman. Nihal Bilku is another Englishman. They could fluctuate between grades. But I think it's, again, a development season for them. Losing Ethan Boucher is hurt. Is a hurtful loss for them. He probably controlled their midfield.
Yeah.
So, look, I think probably 11 or 12 for them, I want to say. Potentially 12, I want to say, because I actually think Ash will probably go away. At least he is him and Jed are probably the top two.
Yep.
So yeah, they will lose him for June and then probably lose him World Cup as well. So yeah, probably got them either 11 or 12. Let's look at the Reds women. Jane Claxton named, apparently.
Optimism, give birth in July. Why not give coming back for finals a crack?
Deary me. I haven't listened to it. You have a couple of Kiwis returning, Britt Wang and Soph Nation. Couple of English women that'll come over and fluctuate between ones and twos. Is that right?
Yeah, so Georgie Minter both of them played last year,
cool.
but they haven't played top league in England, so weren't considered imports last year. But of course, every season we change the rules of what an import is. And so Georgie Minter's obviously classified as an import because she played our Premier One last year. So it's a convoluted system and there's too many words to read, as I've found out being a coach.
Lucy Sharman and Joss Bartram are their Hockey Roos picks. Look, I probably got you between, I want to say 5 and 8.
Yeah, our definite goal is to make the top 5, and we've got quite as you look at our list, a youthful team. When 21s is away, we get heavily depleted. So we're luckily enough going to be able to reschedule those games. Otherwise, could have been deplorable. But yeah, a lot of girls that have really developed nicely, like had that extra year in 21s. And so it has been actually really exciting to see them in pre-season really develop and mature in their hockey. So yeah, it will. This weekend we've got a rough start with Wolves and then UWA.
Ooh, yeah, that hurts.
So that will really test us.
Yeah, that will. Blake Govers,
emotionally and physically.
Blake Govers coaching as well.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
He is stepping into the wonderful world of women's coaching. And I actually didn't really spend much time with him when I was in the national program, so it's really great to get to know him from a coaching perspective. And he is such a hockey nerd.
Love it. That's right up your alley.
Yeah, I know it is up my alley. But has some really kind of great ways of looking at structure and ways of play. And so it'll be exciting to work alongside him.
Now for the men, Jack Hayes returns as, well, one of their coaches because the prodigal son of Aquinas Hockey Club, Aaron Zalewski.
The god of Aquinas School.
Spruce Moose. He is back co-coaching with Jack Hayes. So he'll be back on the field this year. Jez Haywood and Blake, obviously, the two Kookaburras. Liam Hart transfers, I think, from YMCC to Reds. James Lewis returns. I don't know where they are going to fit. I want to say 4 to 7. I think.
Yeah, they fluctuated a lot last year, and having looked at a few of their practice games, they get a bit depleted when they don't have those Aussie guys out there.
No, going to be great to see. Well, Sam Gray is also named now. Sam's, I want to think is an import. Sam Gray, is that the Sam Gray from New South Wales?
Yes, yeah, I believe he is, but. Yeah, these aren't finalised.
Okay.
I don't think these documents we're looking at.
Well, let's say he's an import because I think he might be. But anyway, if he's not, well done. Really looking forward to seeing Brodie Foster have a full season.
Yeah.
I think he's really important for them, goal scoring wise. Him and
such
him
a presence in the circle.
Absolutely. Let's go to UWA women. Now they haven't quite lived up to the expectation.
They have again been the benefactors of people being released from the Hockeyroos into development. So the likes of Lexi Pickering is back on deck and will be playing consistent season, but they've almost done a tag team with Nasa Flynn going into the Hockeyroos and picking up Liv Downs as well. But yeah, they notoriously have such a great lineup, yet still don't seem to gel as much as you would predict them to be. They on paper look like they should dominate, and then I don't know if it's more individual styles of hockey that kind of creep into their game. But yeah, I hope they kind of start bringing it all together this season.
They get Ella Bailey from New Zealand, who's come over, and Mabel Dorr has returned. So I want to say 3 to 5.
Yeah, I had that similar. Yeah, I don't think they'll compete with like the Wolves and the Lions, but Hale and those types, I think they'll be very competitive against. And Pippa Hayward obviously returning back from quite a long-term injury.
Pippa Morgan, you mean? Pippa Hayward. Who's Pippa Hayward?
Ex-New Zealand player. Like,
Oh, sorry.
weird.
Oh, my bad.
Can't
My
believe you didn't know
apologies,
that.
Pip.
Such a niche amount of knowledge. But yes, sorry, Pippa Morgan. Sorry, Pippa Morgan.
Let's look at the two-time reigning premiers, the UWA men. Nath Sinner, Nath Ephraim's, and Cam Geddes. Obviously, they're homegrown. They're the Kookaburras they have returning. Diego Foos, I want to say, hasn't got the country. I want to say that's Spanish or Argentinian.
I want to say Diego's Spanish as well.
Yes, let's go with Division B de Honor. I would want to say is Spain. Let's go with.
Yeah.
So he hasn't played in the top league, but we'll add something, I'm sure. Not that they need anything more. I've probably got them one or two. One or two. Look, those three guys will play most of the year. They've got plenty of support when they go out. Not sure, Flynn Ogilvie is named. Not sure how much he'll play, but also my understanding is Tom Wicken probably won't, but
you
never know.
He was sort of moving in a cycling direction.
Yes. You follow him on Strava.
Yeah,
There's
it's
just
crazy.
100K rides every morning.
3 a.m. That's not time to exercise.
If you know Tom, that's his love zone. Great to have a very strong team again for Portgonoy. They're going to challenge again, 3 in a row. Probably hasn't been done since UWA. Early 2000s, I want to say. So there's all to play for them. There's still some serious talent amongst their group. Yeah, so I want to say 2 or 3. One or two. Probably one. Yeah, 1 or 2, I want to say, actually. 1 or 2. Let's roll to Vic Park. Now, a couple of signings in the off-season for the female Panthers. At Leash Power, Carrie Somerville and Tatum Stewart return as their hockey roos. Kate Lockley comes back from subs as a goalkeeper. But they've gained Marika van der Vee, I want to say, from Holland. Don't know how high she played in Holland. I haven't had a chance to have a chat with her. We have crossed paths at training. But she, from what I heard, from a very potent, no, that's not the word, very watchful onlooker in Phil Holbert, that she hadn't picked up a stick for a while and then proceeded to dominate the game.
That's the Dutch way. However, both her and Lauren Yee are highlighted red on here. So clearly the admin of Vic Park haven't been able to notify Hockey WA of their imports in the 7 days prior.
Out of date. It's out of date. I'm pretty sure. Lauren's here. They're both here. Out of date. Lauren Yee, as you mentioned, comes across from the Canberra Chill.
Yeah, that's a great pickup.
Add some strike power with Beatrice Monga-Maloney. So Rach Frusher, spoke to her as well. She will most likely have a full season, except for a small period in between where she's away. So I've probably got them 2 to 4.
Yeah, I think I've probably maybe 3 or 4 or 5 for me. I think I made notes of if you've got like the likes of Rach Frusher or Georgia Wilson misses a game or Georgia Hiskin goes away for 21s. It really heavily impacts them because the next step up is it's a bit like Reds. Once you lose some core players, it's way more impactful than some of the other teams.
Absolutely. Look at the boys for Vic Park. Big signing. We should mention Vic Park's new head coach is Steph Andrews. So big get. Obviously, the Perth Thundersticks winning head coach, massive get, been a part of the club for a little while. And for the men, Jake Wetton steps into the player coaching role. Alicia Robinson will support him. So
there you go. I didn't know that.
Yeah, good to have an extra set of eyes and a female set of eyes, someone who's played at a high level as well. So that'll be interesting amongst the group in itself, but she's been great so far. I've enjoyed having her down there. Leon Hayward has been the big signing in the off-season.
How did you get him across from Hale?
He just sent a text, I believe. And asked.
You just love the ambiance.
Yes. Great man, Leon. Very passionate and going to be important, I think, for Vic Park this year. Now, Jaden Atkinson has returned to the Kookaburras, so has come across to Vic Park, obviously with Mod Sol Guildford
Mm-hmm.
when he was in the Kookaburra squad previously. James Collins and Kai Willett return. Very young group. The loss of Matt Dawson is going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, the little sweeper that picks up everything.
Yeah, so that's gonna hurt the team a lot. To be honest, I've probably got them finishing outside the 5. I want to say between 7 and 9.
It'll be a battle, I think.
Yep, I
don't know if they have the firepower or star power to compete.
No, not at the moment. Liam Woodward has come across from Fremantle Coburn, so some first grade experience comes over, but you can't replace a Matt Dawson.
No.
I think goals are going to be the hardest thing for Vic Park this year. So, probably 6 to 9 is probably where I have them, unfortunately, which is sad because they obviously made the grand final last year. But you can't if you can't keep the players that you need, then it affects the way you play. Now, Wasps. Let's move on to them. Steph Kershaw is now a hockey roo again, so she goes into their high performance player with Morgan Matheson. Kao Tanaka, the Japanese international, returns. She's new, I think. Sorry, Kao. I'm sure, was it KO that was here last year?
I think it was KO, but I don't think remember. Amy Kobayashi was.
No,
here.
She definitely wasn't. So
they're a common Japan import.
Yes.
Home, so
Rena Hughes is definitely the connection there. Yeah. So, a couple of Japanese internationals. Look, I think they're going to struggle this year, and I, to be honest, probably see them finishing on the bottom.
Yeah, I do think that they will.
Especially the drive they had with Steph, and they had Caitlin play a little bit last year, and Morgan play most games through the season. Yeah, unfortunately, I probably have them on the bottom. I actually think Whitfords will beat them.
Yeah, especially once we start reviewing Whitfords, you'll see why.
Yeah, yes. Let's have a look at the Wasps men. Now, they lose Trent Mitten, who has gone to coach Whitfords, so that's in a playing sense.
That's
a
just
big loss.
Crazy for me. Like I thought he was through and through Waspy.
No, he's a Whitfords man now.
He's a money talks.
Craig Murray and Connor Otterback are their Kookaburras. They still have quite a decent team. Brynda Bess is named, but I believe, is not playing this year.
No, he's not. I've got it first off his wife.
Congratulations. Got married on the weekend. So it'd be fascinating to see. I think they're exactly the same boat as Vic Park. I think they'll finish between 6 and 9.
Yeah.
6 and 9. Callum Brownlee is an English player that will come over to play for them at some point through the season. So, I've probably got them. Same as Vic Park.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's look at Whitfords now. The women now. Penny Squibb, obviously coaching.
Yep, player
coaching. They have signed the New Zealand women's captain, Olivia Shannon.
It's unfair because
that is ridiculous.
I was like, in our New Zealand girls in our team, like, girls, what's the go?
If you're ever going anywhere,
like, bring your friend with you.
She is a serious talent, Olivia Shannon. She is. When I watched her play in the up in Darwin last year for the Oceania Cup, she was very.
She turns games. Oh. Yeah, she's like a Steph Kershaw is for us. I think she makes such a difference out there.
They'll also have Maddie Brooks, who will just be obviously a core player or effective player that will play every week.
Available for every game.
Bryn Underwood is a USA goalkeeper.
Yeah.
All right, lovely. Thank you. They will have Greta Hayes as their
making the move from Wolves.
Changing over from Wolves. So they, I think, will finish. I think they'll go okay. I think they're going to.
Yeah, I think they'll push for. I don't know if they'll make the top 5 because we've also got to understand. Olivia Shannon won't be available for everything. I think maximum 7 games, if that, and that within there's a bit of maybe potentially less games. So,
Okay.
and I don't know the depth below that has really improved for
Mm.
them. So I don't know if they'll crack the top 5,
No,
but
I don't think
they'll
so.
be mingling in that bottom group.
Yep. Yep. I think I want to say I don't think I want to say between 8 and 10,
Mm.
probably.
Yep.
8 and 10 for Whitford's women. Let's look at the Whitford's men, as we mentioned, coached by Trent Mitten. Anand Gupta is returning as their kookaburra. They've got a couple of Irishmen that are coming over: Mark Collins, Josh Gill, and Ben Stewart. They have been going well from my conversations with Trent. Trying to get some buy-in, I think, is what his challenge is at the moment. I think they will be 10 or 11.
Yeah, I don't know how well they'll go. They've lost like a core player.
Yep.
That provide a lot of threat to oppositions.
Yep. Probably 11, I want to say. I think Raiders will finish bottom. They'll be 11. And I think Mods will, just for the talent of, or the ability of having those couple of Spanish guys help drive them. And especially if they can win those games while Jed is here.
Yeah.
That's going to be helpful. Wolves, the reigning premiers, the 2-time reigning premiers, only get stronger. Only get stronger.
Get better.
Hattie Shand has moved across from Hale. So she will lead up their defence. Grace Young returns as their hockey roo, but is still just star-studded. Evie Dalton, Geordie Holtzberger, Maddie Radcliffe.
And all players that will play every single week. I think so many clubs have ins and outs and really impacted by the hockey roos not playing. Or in our case, like our New Zealand imports going to play for New Zealand, those types of things. This team, year on, year out, always has consistency and the same team on the field. So
yes, really good.
It helps going deeper into the season.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The stalwart, that is Gemma Buckley, will still roll on again. Sister Ellie is also there. So, I've probably got them 1 or 2 again.
Yep. Same.
1 or 2. So, potentially a 3-peat on the cards for the Wolves women. We look at the Wolves men. Now, I think they're going to be the bolter this year. Both Jake and Tom Harvey will play effectively every game. From obviously not being part of the Kookaburras. They regain Joel Rintala as their Kookaburra. They've got Scott Ruttle as their Irish international that's going to come over and play. Pat Andrew, Ali Murray, Will Byers, Dane Gavranich, all players that will add serious value. Really like the way Arjun Bryan goes about it, a youngster.
Yep.
I've got them probably 3 or 4, maybe even 2.
They always have
maybe
a
not
solid
2,
defence.
Yeah, 3 or 4 I've got them.
Solid. Yeah. Yep.
I think they will make a charge this year, especially if they can be in a good position once Joel Rintala comes back.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for them. YMCC, the last of the Premier League teams. They have gone and got Jordan Bliss from the Brisbane Blaze.
I did not think that she would be tempted away from Queensland, but they're going to be a hard one to score against, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Amelie Green comes over from Belgium after playing in the Belgian Hockey League, so that's going to help them. I don't know the position, but
they've lost someone like Maddie Fitz, I think, due to import rules and her playing in Germany. So that's a good in for them.
And Shania Tonkin goes to play with Sister Sienna.
Yep, and her mum's the manager, so it's easier transport-wise.
Absolutely. Jade Smith and Zoe Newman, the hockey roos, they're going to go okay this year. I think they'll be better than last year. I think probably between, maybe not quite finals, but I want to say between 6 and 8, let's say.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's have a look at the YMCC men. As the last team on our list, Cooper Burns and Liam Henderson return as the Kookaburras. They also signed a Queenslander in Dakin Stanger. Junior World Cup borough. Played for the Brisbane Blaze through the Hockey One. So he's going to add some firepower up front. They lose Jacob Anderson, but probably like for like, let's say, to a striker. Maybe not the same running power as Jacob, but good striker. The Adamson brothers are there. Luke Anderson, Max Friedman. They can push for the 5. I want to say 5 is probably their max. 5 to 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
5 to 7. That's the preview. Have you got a prediction on a Charlesworth and Olympians medalist? I'm putting you on the spot a bit.
Yeah, if Liv Shannon was playing the entire season, I would put her up there. I don't know motivation factors for someone like a Maddie Ratcliffe. If she can back it up again, or if she's kind of shifting in a different direction life-wise. But it'll be interesting to have like the Penny Scribbs, the Maddie Brookses, the Maddie Smiths, Lexi Pickering all playing consistently throughout the season. I think that will make it way more competitive than it has been previous years.
Yeah, I want to say a 1 probably from left field, because I think she will get votes when they lose, is Maddie Brooks. Maddie Brooks is a pick for me. Yeah, obviously the normal vote getters in Maddie Radcliffe, Lene Milan, will go well because they will be in teams that win. The other one maybe Jessie Reid.
Yeah, she really impressed me over the Hobart hockey one.
I think she's developing really well.
Yeah,
I'm probably disappointed she's not in the
same. I'm a big fan of her.
Yeah,
I'm always a big fan of those people that know how to pass and know how to do the simple things well.
For the men, any thought? For me, I think Jake Harvey.
Yeah, he is a very good club-based player to have. Very handy.
Yeah, I think I think they're going to win lots of games.
Yeah,
he's probably going to be, if not the best player, the second best player on the ground. I've probably got Jake. There'll be others, obviously, that I'm not thinking of. Maybe some of those Freo guys.
I was going to say, I wonder if from you suddenly Fraser's in a quality team, whether he stands out more or he gets overshadowed.
Potentially.
And people taking votes off of you. Similar would happen maybe in a Melville. So you always got to kind of consider who's around those players. It's not necessarily, yet they could be a very, very talented player themselves, but if they're also around great quality players, you get votes taken off of you.
Yep, I agree. That's where I think Jake might benefit.
Yeah.
So give us your thoughts if you want to know, or give us your thoughts on who you think might win the Olympian and Charlesworth medals, or the top goal scorer, or who you think is going to have a huge impact, or just who you think is going to win this year for the men and the women. It's going to be a really exciting season, and as we mentioned, some of the talent that has come to Perth to play in our competition is next level. I don't think we probably both agree that we've probably never seen it this strong.
No, we haven't.
Let us know what your thoughts are, and make sure you get out to the Perth Hockey Stadium or wherever games are this weekend. It's going to be a fantastic season. Make sure you get out and support your club and give us your feedback, because we love to hear from you. Well, that's it, Jane. First episode ticked off the list for 2026. Fair bit of chitter-chatter in that one.
Yeah, thank you if you've made it this far.
Yes, we appreciate it. The diehards
Yep.
have gone through and wanted to understand what's happening in the Premier League, of
Our
course.
two dads.
Yes,
Thank
pretty
you
much. Actually,
for
no.
joining us.
My dad probably doesn't listen. I'll probably guarantee that he doesn't listen. Yeah, he's more interested in playing on the midweek on the turf.
Yep, no.
No, definitely does listen, but appreciate if he does. Of course, you can send Jane or I messages on Instagram if you want to give us feedback, ask us questions. We're very happy. Follow Hockey WA on Instagram, hockey_WA. They'll have all the info on the episode when it drops. Hopefully, we'll be dropping each Friday. Obviously, video highlights and everything to do with hockey on their page. And lastly, a big good luck for everyone involved in playing, coaching, managing this weekend.
It's always a nerve-wracking weekend to see where you're at.
Officiating, tech officiating, wherever you sit, good luck. It's definitely going to Oh, it's going to be raining actually this weekend.
Yeah.
So that's not normal.
That's a
'cause-
weird. It's usually in the desert.
Yes, it
and you're
is.
trying to stay hydrated.
We will be obviously dropping episodes every week through the season. We know there's an Easter break coming up as well. So we know there's no games on, but there'll be midweek games on next week. But make sure you get out to the hockey and support your team. The fixtures will be out on the Instagram page. But for this week's episode, au revoir.